As you promised me that I was more than all the miles combined, you must have had yourself a change of heart like halfway through the drive, because your voice trailed off exactly as you passed my exit sign. Kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. Now I am stuck between my anger and the blame that I can't face, and memories of something even smoking weed does not replace. And I am terrified of weather, cause I see you when it rains. Doc told me to travel, but there's COVID on the planes. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas, and I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. So I thought that if I piled something good and all my bad, that I could cancel out the darkness I inherited from Dad. No, I am no longer funny, cause I missed the way you laughed. You once called me forever, now you still can't call me back. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas, and I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. Oh, that'll have to do. My other half was you. I hope this pain's just passing through, but I doubt it. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas, and I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half. That'll have to do, have to do.
Catching up in a neon light. Didn't know till we walked in, it was karaoke night. She was in a circle of girls chasing a shot with a lime. She was laughing, they were daring her to get on the mic. One of them walked up and turned in her name. Next thing I knew, man, she was up on the stage singing Heads Carolina, Tails California. Maybe she'd fall for a boy from South Georgia. She's got the bar in the palm of her hand, and she's a 90s country fan like I am. Hey, I got a Chevy, she can flip a quarter. I'd drive her anywhere from here to California. When this song is over, I gotta find her, cause she had me at Heads Carolina. By heart, didn't need no screen. No, I was raising my glass up for her and saw her smiling at me.
This is the U15AAA Provincials, Day 2, as we begin Night 2 with this game, brought to you by Chris D'Entremont MP. This game features the Bedford Blues and the Cumberland County Ramblers.
Welcome to our 6 p.m. game here at the U15AAA Provincials here at Yarmouth Mariner Center. My name's Jeff McGray. I'm working on behalf of the volunteers at MC Media. And in this game, we feature the visiting Bedford Blues against the home team, Cumberland County Ramblers. Of course, the Ramblers are, that would be the namesake of their beloved Amherst Ramblers, the Junior A franchise. They shoot it in, and we welcome you here, and we hope everybody's having a great time. We brought some sunshine to the Yarmouth folks, for Yarmouth, for all of the people from all over our great province, and anywhere you're watching your loved ones, we're happy to have you, and we appreciate you watching tonight. We're just underway, and icing takes place against Cumberland, and I'll get to your starting goaltenders here momentarily. Looks like Cumberland's goaltender is number 29, Cameron McDonald. And in the other end, as soon as I get a number, I will certainly pick that up for you and pass that along. Stewart will play that down. Amherst quickly turns it back up ice. And Hales Rochon goes after it, fires it into the corner. Bedford will pick it up and play it along the end boards. Ramblers are in quickly on the forecheck. That was Gould firing it in from the point, wearing number 6. Oliver Gould. Got the good hockey hair, Oliver Gould. Got to be impressed by that. Couple of bodies there as Bedford will knock the man off the puck, and Stewart will get it up quickly for, I believe, Chisholm. Carried on into the zone by Bedford's number 10, Noah Gallant. Gets his stick up a little bit, but it didn't hit anything, and Amherst will look to clear it. They get it to the line, but not out. It's kept in there. Fired to the net. It was knocked down in front and a quick shot, and it was trickled in on the goaltender, and he was able to kick it aside. That's McDonald with a stick save. And a good save by McDonald, and he'll hold for a whistle with 13:06 left. And a couple of the fans were pretty impressed by that save. And as I get a peek here, J.P. Lefebvre is the goaltender, wearing number 31 for your Bedford Blues this evening. And we'll get to feature some of the players here for you. I was just speaking with a gentleman, Ethan McAvoy's grandfather here. He came over and had a chat with me, and a fellow official of many, many years. I told him I worked a little over 30 years. And he did 43 years, including the Nova Scotia Voyageurs in the AHL. And, of course, as a Habs fan, they were the farm team of the Montreal Canadiens, and a lot of Hall of Famers like Larry Robinson and Ken Dryden played, and Serge Savard played for teams like that. Your Guy Carbonos. We move on here, and shots goes up off of the glass and tickles the twine, and that will cause a face-off, and it'll be deep in the Bedford zone. To the right of Lefebvre. A couple of real big goaltenders for both teams here. A little bit of a height advantage for Cameron McDonald, but not by much. As a 15-year-old, he looks to be quite a bit over 6 foot tall. Bedford comes out with it. A good-looking rush here from Aiden Knowles. Gets it all the way out, tries to get it in front, though, and that's turned aside by Camden Remington. Another good chance, and waved off, didn't enter the net. Ejected there, and here comes Cumberland County, and they'll fire that deep. That was number 16, Bryson O'Neill. And Bedford will skate it out, taking advantage of the line change. Harris will dump that in and assume his position at the line. Bowen McNutt will play that. It's picked off at the line, but then his pocket's picked by Rochon. Cumberland County, great body check. Good clean hit against the big guy there. Got to give full credit. Levi Harris knocks over his man, a bigger player in number 5, Brandon Warwick. Puck slides in on Lefebvre, and he holds for a face-off to his left. 11:48 in a quick-moving first period here at Mariner Center. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Down into the corner. Aiden Van Rensburg tries to play that around, but Bedford will take over. They push it out to the line. They try to keep it in. That was McNutt, but unable to, and Bedford goes into the zone. Leopold will play that. Gets a return pass and makes a good outlet pass along the side boards, giving his teammate a chance to break the play. Bedford will steal that. Stewart, and he fires it back into the zone to try to ignite another forecheck. Amherst getting pinned in a little bit here. They'll work it back. Leopold behind his own net, and he'll look for an outlet. Indirect pass off the boards and played quickly there. Was going to be offside, but Cumberland played it, and now a good-looking rush again. He's 1-on-3, however, for Bedford. Goes behind the net. We'll look for a centering pass. Tries that, and it's picked off. As I say, a good-looking rush from defenseman Aiden Van Rensburg. And then the shot trickles down on Cameron McDonald, and he'll hold it with a blue right on his front doorstep. 5-1 shots on goal in favor of Bedford over Cumberland. Scoreless where it matters, though. And 10:37 as a face-off will happen deep in the Cumberland County zone. It's scrummed along the boards. Cumberland will try to get that out. Kept in at the line by Laria. And if I get a pronunciation wrong, please reach out and tell us, because I'm sure I will. It's kind of one of those things I'm good at. Again, Cumberland having a hard time breaking the zone here. Some really rabid forechecking. Big body check absorbed and partly avoided there by the Ramblers player. Smith tries to come in over the line. Bedford will clear that out, and it's taken over at his own blue line by Remington. He makes a good pass on the tape up for Brennan Reed, but it's stolen, and Bedford quick on the transition will get it back into the zone. Laria fires it, goes wide. That's played out to the sideboards, but Bedford again will keep that alive. Leopold. Sorry, that's Leopold down in the corner. It was Ryan Quigley that was in chasing the puck. And it's going to be icing charged against Cumberland County. We're up to 5-1 in favor of Bedford on the shots on goal, and the territorial advantage is a little bit tilted in their manner, although we've only played 5 minutes 31 seconds here at Mariner Center. Hopefully all the families that have traveled to Yarmouth are having a great weekend. I'm sure this is a big time for the kids, and the sunshine is out today, unlike yesterday, and that vitamin D from the sun makes everybody a little bit happier, and we're going to enjoy some good hockey here. Good play there, and there's going to be a penalty behind the play. The back referee has his hand up. It's going to go to Cumberland. The referees will convene, and both referees had their hand up, and it's going to be 2 minutes for interference being charged to O'Neill, Bryson O'Neill, and that'll be the first power play chance of the game, and it will go to the Bedford Blues. Thank you today for all weekend for all of the great volunteers. I've been in the hospitality room. $5 for the day, $20 for the weekend, I believe, for a pass, and it's worth it just to get in the hospitality room. Don't forget about the fact that you get to see some great hockey players play the game. And it's been very fun, a great tournament, well organized. They've had an awards banquet, the skills competition, a really good celebration to open up the tournament last night with all 7 teams on the ice. And we're here all weekend, including the semifinal games and the final game on Sunday morning and then Sunday afternoon. So please feel free to come out to Yarmouth Mariner Center. Yarmouth and Acadian Shores is one of the big sponsors of the tournament, I noticed, and their job is to promote Yarmouth, so we hope any of the families that are down check out some of the fine seafood that we offer and some of the great coastline that we're famous for. It's a beautiful place. Bedford will play it behind their own net. And that's Ethan McAvoy. I talked about him a moment ago, and I just met his grandfather here. And Amherst will play that down ice. 43 seconds left in the power play, and Amherst will get their, Cumberland will get the kill. Partly accomplished here. Brought out the cowbells. Bedford enters the zone just onside. Swing it out front, it goes off the defenseman's leg. And unable to find it before the goaltender does is number 21, Jonathan Stewart. Goalie Cameron McDonald will put the big oven mitt on top of it and draw a face-off. 22 seconds left in the power play for Bedford, and 7:33 left in the first period here. Upon looking at my notes, I noticed that the Bedford Blues had a tie against Glace Bay in their first game, and then they defeated Yarmouth 5-1, so they're 1-0-1. And Cumberland County, I'll get you their record here in a moment as the puck's controlled up high. You hear the stick tapping to signify that the player's coming out of the penalty box. And a bit of a break here as off the bench comes Rochon. Nice defensive play to take that away from him by Lataria, I should say. I was missing the T looking at the back of his jersey, but when I actually take a moment to look at his name on the game sheet, I can see that I was mispronouncing his name, and my apologies to him and his family. Puck controlled by Bedford. We're back at even strength. 0 for 1 for Bedford on the power play thus far. In our only trip to the penalty box for either team. Lataria, as the puck knocks the stick out of his opponent's hand, and then the player was trying to get his stick and they made incidental contact. The Blues come across the line. They fire it in on goal. The goalie played it off the glass. It took a wicked hop off the glass, came back and hit the goaltender McDonald on his shoulder. And quite fortunate it didn't ricochet into the net on him. So bit of a nervous moment there for the Cumberland County faithful. And I'm sure not a real comfortable one for the goalkeeper. Good play by Cumberland to keep that in at the line. Quickly broken up, though, by Bedford. That's number 12, Gagnon, who kept it in, but it's played out quickly to Cameron. Drew Cameron, he just slides it in. He's going to go for a change. The puck goes to the goaltender. The referee told him to play it because there was no one around, and so he does so. Cumberland looking to break it out. McNutt carries on. He'll go across the line here. Nice job to bump him off the puck at the last minute as he tried to split the D. Full credit to this Bedford Blues defense. They really play a strong physical game up the middle. And they haven't allowed much to get towards their goaltender as of yet. That play in on goal. Good looking opportunity by Stewart. Back checked from behind. Goaltender makes a save. That's McDonald. Harris fires it from the point. Deflects off of the defenseman in front. That's Camden Remington. And McDonald smothers the rebound with 4:54 left. First period action here at Mariner Center in Yarmouth. 8-1 now, the shots total. Face off to the left of McDonald in the Cumberland zone. Spencer McQueen wins the drawback. Harris deflects off a leg and then off the goalpost. Referee adamant quickly. I believe that's Brock Eamon as the referee down low waved that off, that it didn't go in. And play continues. Cumberland will shoot it down ice, and it looks like it's going to be icing charged against them with 4:32 left. And it is. Faceoff will come all the way down to the left of McDonald. To the right of McDonald, rather. Been broadcasting now for a little while, and I still can't figure out right and left. So I guess if we look at it from the perspective of my vantage point versus yours, one of us is right anyway. That's a good save there as McDonald. You can see him adjusting to that on the overhead replay. Latteria knocks that in. Controlled by Cumberland behind their own net. Outlet pass along the sideboards, and that will spring them out. Puck gets away from Warwick. Martin knocks it in. I don't know if he's Martin or Martin, so I'm going to go with Martin, assuming the Anglophone version of the name. Gould will play that up for his man just off the stick, Martin. Latteria taken away from him. That quick shot by Warwick goes wide. The big body check there as the defenseman was about to try to play the puck, and he got knocked off the puck. Completely out of the zone, lost his stick, picks it up, and goes to the bench for a change. The point is vacated there because of that change, and a 2-on-2 with wheels, and good call on the offside as just the little dipsy-do there at the line by Jake Matheson put his man offside. And of course, they're a little frustrated with that as Drew Cameron was unable to stop up at the last second when the stick handle was forced by a good play to push up towards the line by the defenseman. Now a shot attempt is blocked by, that was Owen Chisholm firing it. He's on it down deep for Bedford. Plays it out, but that's picked off, and Cumberland will go the other way with it. O'Neill has his play partially broken up, so he'll backhand it into the zone. Sorry, that was Gagnon. O'Neill is on the other team wearing number 12. Played back to the point. And again, that active defense for Bedford just clears it out quickly. Shot in from just inside the center ice line. So no icing, and now Bedford will control. A little bit of time given to Aiden Knowles there, so he takes advantage of it, gets it out, but a good active stick and a good anticipation by Reed will end up chopping that back into the Bedford zone, and they'll try again. The chip play, Reed will fire that. His man is offside. They're still offside as they hadn't broken it up, and the linesman making sure emphatically that they know, and McCauley has to vacate the zone, and that gives Bedford a chance to clear it out. Brennan Reed with the puck. Plays that right in front of his net very confidently. And Remington will play that to the sideboards. Good passing here and some good poise by Cumberland to get it out of their zone. It's broken up though, as Burbine was battling for it. He goes after Harris, who has the puck. A couple of pretty good whacks there by McCauley. Nothing that drew the attention of the officials. 8-2 now, shots on goal. Again, Bedford applying pressure down low and a really rapid forecheck. Shot on goal, turned aside. And a couple of good opportunities there. McDonald keeps it out with the help of a sprawling defenseman as they try to set up shop in front of the net. Bedford really has the pressure on. They stop up and fire that. Blocked at the point, and a good play, and then a great soft play down the line. Down the ice, rather. Not enough for icing, because icing would have hurt them in that situation. Relieves a bit of the pressure, but Bedford right back on it. And that was Fisher Schneier chasing after that puck. Looking very good doing so. Down across the Bedford line is Warwick, Brandon Warwick. He's in battling, he turns up the puck. Gets it to Gallant at the point. He makes one move and then loses the puck, and now with numbers, Bedford across the line. Matheson, and another good save as he stops the pass across. Played down low into the Bedford zone by Rochon. Big kid, Rochon. His size really stands out there. Tries to get it in front to his man. And that's Reed Gagnon. Now Gould will keep it in, but maybe only temporarily, as Latteria will play that out for Bedford. Picked up in the neutralized zone by Gagnon. He'll play it up to his man, McNutt, and he'll dump it into Bedford's zone. And they'll try to get a forecheck going. Bedford breaks that pretty easily. A good play along the line, but kept in at the line. Terrace. And the first period winds down. A very quick first period, not many whistles. And that's something I've noticed here in my 3 games plus here at Mariner Center for this tournament. These games are going very rapidly. Not a lot of face-offs as you see the puck go off the bar. A great replay there by Josh Cochran in our booth, running the controls. And here's another look at it. And you see quickly the referee, and that one hit the bar and came all the way horizontally across the goal line and stays out. So we get a couple of highlights here for the first period. And Cameron McDonald was under siege there, a 12-2 advantage after 1 in shots on goal for Bedford. Cameron played well, had some help from his friends, the goalpost and his defenseman. Makes another good save there, and you'll see right here, good positioning. He gets down in the butterfly, comes across, a nice controlled slide across, gets himself set and square and looks big in his net. And that helps when you're a big guy anyway, but in his butterfly, he takes up most of the spot there. Gets a high five from the coach after the drink of water, and we're gonna get set to have second period action here as the teams switch ends, and of course we'll have a flood after the second period. So scoreless draw here after 1. We're all set for period number 2 at Mariner Center in Yarmouth. Bedford and Cumberland locked at zeros. Gallant and Gagnon battle there physically for the puck off of the face-off. It's shot into the Bedford zone. Good poised play there to keep that and get it out, find an open man, and it's played out by number 8 for Bedford, and that's Chisholm. Gallant, they play it down low. And a good pass down in low. I think that was Stewart with it. And it's played out over the line, and now Gallant again will try to turn it back the other way. Jonathan Stewart had it for a moment. They have to tag up, and they get it outside. Now they'll fire it in on goal. Turn just aside there by the goaltender into the corner. Leopold for Cumberland County will take control and play it D to D, and then quickly out of the zone. Bedford takes control of the neutral ice. 3 guys attacking the defenseman. It's going to go offside as the Cumberland players went to the bench, and then it results in an icing with 1:02 gone here. Second period action. Scoreless draw, 12-2 shots on goal in favor of Bedford. Scoreless draw though. Face off to the left of Cameron McDonald of Cumberland County. McCauley will win that for Cumberland, and he'll wrap it around the boards. We'll see who gets to it first. Smith giving chase, but the good pinch at the line by McAvoy keeps it alive. It's knocked out into neutral ice. Quigley tries it for a moment. He loses it. They get it back, though, and now Smith will have to go behind his own net. Fires it around for his open man. Tough play to play that on his backhand side. Good play, though, to get it into his skates by number 4, Emerson Burbine. And they do get the clear that they were looking for. Took some teamwork, but good chip out of the zone. Bedford controls it in their own zone. Indirect pass. Quigley slips it up ahead for Schneier, just out of his reach. Good-looking play, and the fans are cheering on McCauley as he comes down the right wing. Fires that just over the net. Goaltender got a piece. That was J.P. Lefebvre. You could see it go off of his glove. Might have been high, but that's okay. I think he deserves a save on that. I don't know if he got credit for one or not. And Harris, good move to avoid his man, and good-looking skater comes across the line into the Cumberland zone. Gets stopped up by a couple of guys, so he shoots it in behind the net. And Harris again throws a good body check, separates his man from the puck, gets it to Cameron. Good opportunity, and again, a nice save by Cameron McDonald on the 13th shot on him thus far in the game. Cumberland D-to-D pass. Now they'll look to go cross seam up high. It's played there by Warwick. They stay on side. A Blues player had fallen at the line, but taken over very quickly at the line. Inside the line. Now Bedford will turn it over. Warwick in battling for it. He gets it back. He's got a really good battle going there. Pass out front, just out of the reach of Rochon. It gets back to the point, and the shot from the point is knocked down, and then Lefebvre holds on to the rebound, and they make sure that no one gets to him as they put up the fairly aggressive wall just to wall everybody out and keep them away from their goaltender, as, of course, one of those unwritten rules of hockey is about protecting your goalie. Gagnon on the face-off. He was locked up there by Noah Gallant. Down low. They'll chip it in front. That was Gagnon trying to chip it in front, but Bedford will try to clear it. Chisholm battling along the line, and with some help from Gallant, he gets it out. Stewart at the line. 1-on-3 here, but he beats his man outside. Has no room, though, when he fires that shot. Takes a pretty good hit along the boards. Referee makes no call, and then they shoot. They score from a sharp angle, and I'll get you the goal scorer. It looks like it's Stewart based on the camera number 1 position as he jumps against the glass and gives his Bedford Blues a 1-0 lead at 11:30. So number 17, Drew Cameron. And we'll check out some assists for you. And if you don't hear it on the ambient, I will try on the ambient microphone from Kevin Northup. Jonathan Stewart, sorry. Jonathan Stewart unassisted at 11:30. And it's 1-0. Good pass to the point. Mishandled for a moment because it was on his backhand side, but played in by Chisholm. Wrapped around behind the net. Rochon. And now Bedford will try to work it out of their zone as Cumberland tries to put on the pressure. Waters will knock that down ice, and not going to be enough for icing, I don't think. Or you see the referee, the linesman chase that all the way to the goal line as he's supposed to, and hollering out to let the guys know no icing, so that the defenseman doesn't let up and they get slammed into the boards unexpectedly. That's part of his job. Effectively done there, and icing signal goes up, and we'll see if it has enough for icing. As you can see, the defenseman trying to skate in quicksand to make sure that he doesn't negate the icing, and we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. It is icing charged to Cumberland. 15-3 shots on goal, 1-0 on the scoreboard, for both in favor of Bedford. 10:22 left in this rapidly moving game. Face off deep in the Cumberland zone. One back by Cumberland, but played to the point. Knowles will keep that alive. Big body check by Rochon. Bedford, they keep it alive. Nice little move out of the corner there. Spencer McQueen, he'll dump it deep as they try to keep the cycle going. McQueen again, he takes a body check and has to avoid the referee. Comes around, and Cumberland County Ramblers will get that out. Both defensemen in there, Knowles and his partner, to make sure that it gets that back down into the Cumberland zone, and they'll try to spring it back out. They get it to center ice where it's picked off, but McCauley battling with his man up in front of the bench, the Blues bench, and puck went into the bench, and that will cause a face-off with 9:31 left. Second period action. Thank you again for watching here on MC Media. Quinn Taggart on the camera, along with Josh Cochran in the booth. Can't see who the other camera operator is down on number 1, or maybe it's an unmanned camera. No, there's definitely somebody there. I'll try to get you that name. And of course, I'm Jeff McGray, just plodding along here with the real talent. Bedford. Good looking play by Gallant to stop up a couple of times. Now Chisholm. Very patient, these Blues are with the puck. They don't seem to be rushed by any kind of pressure, and they make good plays and good passes. It's turning into a bit of a physical game. Everyone's having to battle for every inch. Blues will fire that in with authority. Chisholm will give chase. We'll see if he can keep it alive, and he does. Takes a hit. Puck comes back to the point. McAvoy keeps it alive, but quickly Amherst, they were looking for the home run pass. It misses O'Neill. He'll go to the bench. It went right in on goal, and Lefebvre will play it to his D-man. The Blues get it up to center where it's broken up there by Rochon. Chipped out over center ice. And here come the Blues with numbers. Play opens up. Good shot and a blocker save, or sorry, a glove save on the short side against Cameron. And that was McDonald. Cameron McDonald with the save for the Cumberland County Ramblers. Already up to 15 shots on goal that he's faced. Only the one blemish against. And Jonathan Stewart, our only goal scorer, unassisted at 11:30 of the first period. We're just about at the halfway point of the game. 7:42 left. Second period action. Waters, he'll play it in. Makes a couple of good moves. Now he gets picked up by the Cumberland player. Slips it down low. Nice little pass. As Aiden Van Rensburg fires that into the corner. It's kept alive by Drew Cameron. Back to the point. Van Rensburg fires that. It hits a body. As I said, the body checking and physical intensity has really picked up. Warwick tries to dump that in. Really nice play by Van Rensburg. Knocked it down with his hand and was smart enough to play it first, because if Waters had played it, it would have been ruled a hand pass. And that is a shot on goal on his own goal on the centering pass. And Jake Matheson, in an attempt to knock it away, tests his goalie, and I'm sorry about that. It's Cogan McCulley that chipped it in on his goaltender, and Cameron McDonald, very sharp, makes the save and holds on. Cumberland will win the draw, and they'll look to break the zone. Smith, he'll play that up. Taken over by Bedford, but now quickly stolen back. Bowen McNutt played it in, but it's up to center ice, and the Blues try to break the zone. Shot back out by Cumberland and knocked down by Knowles, but he's unable to keep it in, and he has to go back for it into his own zone. Tries to control the rolling puck. It rolls off of his stick. Smith was all over him. Bedford with the pass. It goes off a stick, and Quigley will pick it up. He's got a man with him. Amherst, or Cumberland, I should say, rather. I apologize for that. I keep calling them Amherst, and I believe that puck slid into the net. Again, sharp angle, and McDonald would like to have that one back. So that'll make it 2-0 for Bedford at the 6:07 mark of the second period. As they have a little chat there, the referee and the linesman. A whopping 17-3 advantage in favor of the Bedford Blues. Quigley on the goal. Knowles on the assist at 6:07, and it's 2-0 Blues. McAvoy with a good quick pass up for Chisholm. He tries to beat his man outside. He does. Fires it short side off the bar. McDonald didn't know where it was, but well, he wasn't in any danger as the puck comes out over the zone, up over the line, and McAvoy, he'll play that in. Chisholm, good inside out move, gets the shot off, and kicked aside again by McDonald. McAvoy up for Gallant. He'll control and break the zone. 4 Ramblers there looking to break that up, and a good play to get it out of trouble, out of harm's way. They'll get it up to O'Neill, and he'll play it across to a defenseman, Fisher Schnare, and he'll shoot it down ice. Not enough for icing. So Bowen McNutt will have to go back for the Blues. He shoots it up for Chisholm, but it goes off of the heel of his stick. Remington takes over, loses it, but his teammate follows up. And Martin across the line. He fires that. Harris blocks it at the point. just pops out and it'll sit there in front of Lefebvre, and eventually he'll find it up against his pad and hold on as his defensemen were trying to build a wall to keep the Blues out. They do a good job and effectively give their goaltender some protection, and he stands tall and makes the save. Finds the rebound. We'll have a face-off to his right with 4:39 left. These kids are playing these games as though they've got somewhere to be. Nobody can complain about too many whistles and too many stoppages. We can definitely say that. Really rapidly moving, quality hockey. Goaltender reaches up, knocks it down with the glove. It was loose for a second, and he finds it as Cumberland County banging it away at it. Of course, that draws a crowd. Good job to not retaliate and come up with a glove in the mouth. Who just tried to box the player out and keep him off the goalie, and eventually you can see the goaltender reaching for it. He has to reach up with his glove again, and then eventually, under a lot of pressure with poise, gets the glove on it, draws the face-off. Cumberland controls. So a little bit of end zone pressure here, which is just what Cumberland rather needs, and they'll play it out quickly. Quigley, I should say. Battling there, a couple of another big chance in front, and a couple of nice saves by Lefebvre. Oh, and that's a hit away from the puck. Neither referee spotted it, so play continues on, and Bedford will fire it into the zone with authority. Remington gets that pass, quickly wraps that around. Kept alive. Back to the point. Leteria, he'll get it down low. They play it out front where it's controlled by Gage Martin. Bedford in, looking very dangerous on that play. That was Spencer McQueen. He's got a real nice stride and seems to stop on a dime with some pretty good edge work. 18-7 now, shots on goal with 3:23 left. Second period action. Reminder to thank every one of these volunteers that make these tournaments go. A lot of hard work. I was in the hospitality room for an amazing grilled cheese. And I've been lucky enough to catch some pretty great hockey action here as Gallant will win the face-off, but Cumberland County will force it out to center ice. Good job to step up on that. Just dies along the boards as the ice is getting a little more chunked up here later in the second period, where it's almost been 2 full periods without a whistle, without a flood, which we will have in 2 minutes and 58 seconds of playing time. From the line, it's shot back in by Cumberland's McNutt. Bedford will look to play that out. Knowles spinning. Fires it up, and a good move there by Chisholm, and good-looking 2-on-1 opportunity here as he breaks out over the line. They get the shot, but it goes wide. Cumberland will look to play that out. Good hard on the stick. Still alive, though. Gallant fires it from distance. McDonald sticks that into the corner. And Cumberland will play it out. Knowles going back, D-to-D pass. Try to give a little bit of room. Have to be careful on the too many men. They weren't able to play it anyway. So Chisholm, he gets past his man. He gets spilled. No call, a good no call on the play. He was sort of off balance when he made contact. And Smith, he'll play that over. Good steal there by Waters, and he makes an impressive rush up and a good heavy shot that just missed on the far side. Of course, McDonald may have had a bead on it, but we don't know that. Cumberland tries to play that out, back to the point rather, and Bedford will play it back against the green. Game is getting pretty rough here, and some of the fans are starting to call on the referees for penalties. Always have the amateur referees and the volunteer referees up in the stands as well, so thankless job, and it's really easy from up here, I can attest. I never get a call wrong up here. Bedford, again, they come with speed, 2-on-2 play, cutting towards the net. Rebound play, great save by McDonald. And McCauley will bring it out for Cumberland County. Tries his shot. Good stick there by number 5, Van Rensburg. He's had a good game. Creates the opportunity, turns the opportunity rather into a harmless one, and it rolls in on Lefebvre, and he's able to put the glove down on it and keep this a 2-0 lead for his team, the Bedford Blues. 20-8 shots on goal with 55 seconds left. Second period action. Chisholm, he's been everywhere. Kind of like Johnny Cash. Plays it out, Jonathan Stewart. He'll get it back down low. Chisholm tries to go out front with it. That's picked off by Cumberland, and they'll come out with a 3-on-2. Bedford hustling back to try to turn it into a 3-on-3. Gagnon gets it to his man. The return pass is in his skates, and he has to battle for it. Gets taken off the puck. Remington steps up on his man, takes the puck from him, but Bedford will beat the play, and Stewart around his man fires it just high up over the net. Missed by quite a distance as he was trying to go straight up under the bar. And some people say, how did he miss by that much? But it's a very fine line when you're talking about that angle, and you try to go under the bar from in close like he did. A really entertaining hockey game here, 2 periods in. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes here on MC Media. 2-0 Bedford after 2 periods of play. Thank you for watching on MC Media, and we'll see you in a bit for third period action here at Mariner Center in Yarmouth. Welcome back to Mariner Center in Yarmouth. I'm Jeff McGray on MC Media. As we get set, the team's just coming back onto the ice. The Cumberland County Ramblers are trailing the Bedford Blues 2-0 after 2 periods of play. Having a really good time chatting with all of the folks from the different places around our province. I've talked to some guys from Cape Breton. I called a game earlier with a Halifax Hawk. Having a great time, and a great time for these kids to come down, compete for a provincial title, and have a good time. They become young little families, and they get to go out to eat together and have a lot of fun, and the sun's out, and hopefully Yarmouth's entertaining you very well. Thank you for watching to everyone, no matter where you're watching. We're really happy to bring this to you. All of our volunteers at MC Media are very glad to bring this on, and the hockey's been awesome. So we're just about ready to drop the puck here. 20-8 rather, the shots on goal in favor of Bedford. But the Cumberland County Ramblers have really battled back here to try to put something. They're trying to get something together now. They get it to the net, but it's broken up, and looks like Chisholm will try to break that out. Pass doesn't quite work, so it's dumped out, where it's picked up quickly by number 14, Spencer McQueen. Cross ice pass. A couple of guys will battle for it there, and Van Rensburg will clear it out for Cumberland County. Cameron will take it for the Blues. They've got 3 guys coming across the line as Cumberland was just finishing up a line change. The shot misses the net. They'll pick it up and dump it back in deep. Looking for a man. They just bank it off the goaltender. Kept in on the line here. Even when they're making line changes, that's Schneer. He's keeping it alive, so they're keeping the puck deep in the Cumberland zone right now. Good play in front, but broken up, and looks like good wheels coming out of the zone. Number 8, Owen Chisholm. My apologies. Number 8, Shane Allen. Chisholm plays for the other team. I will make mistakes, and I will try to correct them for you. Schneer will dump that. No icing, as they ruled that the defenseman should have played it or could have played it and chose not to. And you see the linesman point directly at the player to indicate just that. So it's the Blues will play it back in deep. Gould will go in after his man. McCauley. Good play to turn the stick over by Schneer and just slide it along the ice, but McDonald equal to the task there. Showed some really good inventiveness as he was off balance and almost facing opposite. And Schneer, like I said, turned his wrists over and managed to get a pretty good shot off, a dangerous looking play. 22nd shot on the afternoon against McDonald, and he stopped all but 2. Face off deep in the Cumberland zone. Face off won by the Blues. They'll flip it off the glass. Takes a bit of a funny hop, landed flat, but again, McAvoy will keep it alive. McCauley loses it in front. Quick chance there by the Blues, Gallant, and it was kicked aside again by McDonald, playing a strong game. One thing has been consistent with each of the games that I've been involved in, that the goaltending has been very strong. These 2 young men playing goal today, I mentioned earlier, they're big guys. And I see some of the kids playing the hybrid system. They'll go in the butterfly, but when they don't need to, they'll stand up and make a stand-up save, and that's something you see a lot more in the game. And really important for little guys playing net, because when you go in the butterfly, of course, you don't cover the entire net. These gentlemen can cover a lot of the net, even in the butterfly, but by standing up, it keeps you open to make more of a motion when you need to. Referee and linesman will decide on what they're going to play, and they drop it in outside the line after the offside. The Blues will control at their own zone and play it up to the blue line. Cameron tries to make a pass in front. That's broken up, and he takes a heavy shot as Van Rensburg again will play that deep. Reed wearing the C for his team, Cumberland. They'll get fired down deep, and Lefebvre will hold it and take a face-off to his left at 12:04 of the 3rd period. Again, 2-0 Bedford. Thank you to all the sponsors that make this possible and the volunteers. Fantastic tournament that's being run here. Really top notch. Everybody's got their name badges, a great hospitality center. An offensive and defensive MVP for the players. They had a skills competition and an awards banquet. And of course, we've got hockey, and on Sunday afternoon, we're going to reward one of these great young teams with the provincial title that they'll never forget. Face-off played outside of the Cumberland County zone after the offside. Gould will control, lots of pressure. Ends up turning it over, and Schneier has a shot from the side, and that's turned aside with the stick by McDonald. Played out. Ben Rensburg will go back. Takes a funny hop off the penalty box door, which is closed, but it's just a little bit askew. Bedford carries it in, a heavy hit there, and controlled by Chisholm. And they'll play it out. And here comes Amherst. They'll look to break the line. Gagnon will fire from a distance, and that's easily handled. And we have a bit of a scrum here. The referee has his hand up. We got a head contact penalty coming here, and we'll see if it's a 2 or a 4. 4-minute head contact will go against the Cumberland player. And that's Reed Gagnon. And the player's shaken up. Now he'll get up, and of course, everybody gives a cheer and hopes that he's okay. He looks to be okay, and always have to worry about those concussions. And have to remember these are young guys. Even though it's a tough game, we still don't want to see our kids getting injured. So face-off control. I was going to say by McNutt, but a real good battle there. And eventually it's shot down ice. Cumberland killing the 4-minute power play. They can take the icing there. Bedford 0 for 1 thus far on the power play. They're going to get a couple chances here to try to capitalize. Man taken down, and the Blues will play that out. On the man advantage, Stewart comes out with speed, attacks the line, fires it, just misses the far post. McDonald looked like he may have been ready for it. He certainly was tracking the puck well, but it was wide of his cage. Cumberland tries to fire that. It just gets out, and that's a good break for them as defensemen tried valiantly to try to keep it alive. And now Cumberland will go airmail, get it out over the line and down ice. Stewart will play it there for Bedford as they look to break in. They're 1-0-1 after they have a win and a tie to their credit. Everybody chasing the Halifax Hawks right now. They're 3-0 after their win just about an hour ago over the Yarmouth Mariners. And it's played shot down ice. You could see McNutt raise his head there in disbelief that that was picked out of the air by the Bedford player. Shot block or went off of somebody. It sounded like a shin pad, so it probably didn't hurt. Let's hope not. Harris, he'll pick up the puck at center ice. Fans on it and a quick chance in on goal. And that was Avery Terrace, and another good save by Lefebvre. He's been flawless so far this evening. Defenseman just fanned on his pass and created that mini breakaway from inside the blue line. And his goalie picks him up. You love it when a teammate picks you up like that. The Blues across the line, having to battle for every inch. As Terrace, who had just had that chance, he's in battling hard on the penalty kill here. 1:42 left. So they've killed the first minor of the 4 minutes. And they're into the second one. So that would make Bedford 0 for 2 thus far. Now they get the clear down ice, so this is good penalty killing for Amherst, giving themselves a chance to stay in this game, only down 2-0, despite a pretty lopsided shot total. And this Bedford team is just full of guys who just skate and skate and skate. So back to the point. They'll set it up again for one more crack. A minute left in the power play. Backhanded out. Schneier has to be careful. He ends up picking up his own rebound after he tried to pass it to McQueen. Schneier across the line. He'll pass that back. And those back passes will get you every time as Rochon made a good defensive play, picks off the back pass, clears it down ice, cuts the time on the penalty down to 45 seconds. 4 minutes can feel like a long time when you're killing a penalty, especially when you feel like you don't really have any more margin for error, already down 2-0. The Blues will set it up again behind their own net. Play broken up temporarily, but Quigley will skate that out of trouble and he'll bring up the center ice. And again, more speed attacking the line. That's really hard to defend against. Blocker save, open net, and they score. Picking up the trash. Easiest goal they'll ever score, and it looks like $1 million on the board though. Power play goal by number 14 of the Bedford Blues, Spencer McQueen. And that makes it 3-0. So McQueen on the power play, and I will get you the assists on that. It's a really heavy shot that hit the blocker of Cameron McDonald. Puck popped out, and he had no chance on the rebound. Certainly not his fault, as he's played a great game here. 7:28 is the time of the goal here, third period.
Scored by number 14, Spencer McQueen.
As you hear the announcement, McQueen. Schneier on the assist. And Quigley as well. On the power play at 7:28. 1 for 4 now, 1 for 3 rather, on the power play for the Bedford Blues. Because they've had a really good, well-rounded game. Good defense, good goaltending, lots of speed, 33% on the power play. Everything the coach can ask for. You can have a little bit of extra sauce with your pizza tonight if you keep this up, guys. Rochon, he steals it. Heavy shot, but from well out. Lefebvre will hold that. He was going to try to play it, but number 12, Reed Gagnon, was in keeping him honest and making him freeze it with 6:31 left here. Third period action at Mariner Center. A whole day of action for you tomorrow here. We hope you tune in to MC Media. Some of us won't be available, but we will be. I will definitely be here on Sunday. Looking forward to it. And we've had some great guest announcers coming in from Cape Breton as well as Halifax, and stepping in here with our volunteers and working seamlessly and bringing a lot of effort and enthusiasm and making this a lot of fun for us to work with. Tomorrow morning we'll start here bright and early at 10 a.m. There's still a game tonight at 8. Well worth people's trip to come out and enjoy the hospitality room for a very reasonable fee and support this great tournament and all the volunteers and catch some really good hockey. O'Neill gets it to his man, Gagnon, and he'll shoot it in and go for a change for Cumberland, and they'll see if they can get something going here in the last 5 minutes and 50 seconds. And that's probably should have been waved off, as well as it looked like McNutt definitely had a chance to play it, but Bedford gets charged with the icing nonetheless. Face-off will come all the way down to the right of J.P. Lefebvre. Deep in the Bedford zone to the left of Lefebvre. Bedford controls the draw. They've won a lot of draws as well. Schneier will chip that out to center ice. Shot off the glass. Forces McNutt to make a play. Gets it up to the Bedford line, and now they'll turn it back the other way. Good skate pass by McDonald. Whistled high by Ethan McAvoy. And now Cumberland will look to play that out. They missed the outlet pass, and then Bedford just will be content to shoot that back in and keep the forecheck going. Anytime you can initiate the cycle and wear your team, the other team down. McCauley, his player was going to try to stay offside, but then he stepped in, so McCauley had to back off. And that could be, no, they're waving that trip off. The ruling there, I believe, is that the puck was in the skates, the player was playing the puck, and then the player stepped over the stick and caused the trip, and therefore no penalty. Certainly understand the rationale, and certainly I can accept that as a no call. Face-off after the puck goes up into the rafters. Face-off will stay deep in the Bedford zone, and I think we're going to have a timeout called, and it is a timeout here with Cumberland trying to get something going. They'll give the guys a breather and have a chat. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. 3-0 Bedford. 26-12 shots on goal. Remember to stay tuned after the game, as the two teams will each be rewarded an offensive player of the game and a defensive player of the game. We'll break the huddle and we'll have a face-off deep in the Bedford zone. We'll see what Cumberland can mount here. Need a goal, you would think, fairly quickly to get themselves some life in this game. And the face-off to the left of Lefebvre. See the linesman using his head to motion for guys to straighten up into where they need to be within their stalls. Played around, Rochon will just flip it in. Harris tries to dump that. It hits Rochon, he'll control. Looks to the point with it. Allen, back for Rochon. He'll work. May have been a shot, may have been a pass for the back door. In any event, Cumberland County keeps it alive. Trying desperately to get something to the net, but Bedford keeping them on the outside. Good scrum here. Both teams battling hard for the puck in the corner. And now it's cleared out. Bedford was almost away on a break. Good play by Martin to play it behind his back to himself and get the puck deep, with a man all over him. That's number 5, Warwick, trying to get it in front. They've got a good cycle going here with Warwick. It seems like Bedford might be just content to keep them on the outside with a 3-goal lead here. Trying to go 2-0-1 in the tournament, which would put them in contention with the 3-0 Hawks with a game each to play, I believe. Empty net, and Stewart's shot is blocked. He takes a couple of hits there and a little bit of a scrum. Allen will hit him, and eventually the hand is going to come up as Allen getting very aggressive with his man, and I would say Allen's going to go off for roughing. We'll see if they end up calling both guys. Two minutes for roughing against Allen from Cumberland County, and that's the 4th penalty of the game for Cumberland. 1 for 3 thus far for Bedford. And Bedford very disciplined. They have not taken a penalty in this game. Just like the game we had in the last game, it was 5-1 penalties in one direction. And a lot of people think, well, that's not fair. But again, if one team is playing much more disciplined hockey, or they're playing such a game where they're forcing the other team to take penalties in order to keep the puck out of their net, you have to give them credit for that. Referees have to call the penalties there and not try to make them up. Okay. Cumberland fires that in, and there was a player already down inside the zone, and it hits him, and that will create a face-off, which will come back to the outside the Cumberland zone because it was at center ice when it was shot in, and you can't gain an advantage on an offside, so you have to go back one line and face off just outside of the bench outside the line. 6 players on the ice here for Cumberland. Good heavy stick there by McCauley. Attempt there, everyone firing at that empty net. Knocked down, and Cumberland will turn it back. Not giving up here, good for them. It's the way it should be. Gagnon, and he's held up there, and that's going to be interference, and Bedford will take their first penalty of the game. Oh, it's going to be a head contact play, not interference. And good job by Gagnon to not retaliate. And he got a 10-minute misconduct as well, so he said something or slammed the boards, and perhaps maybe said the magic words, and gets 10 minutes, and that will bring another player from the bench to serve his 2-minute penalty. So Quigley will go off and serve his teammate's penalty here. So another 4-minute. Oh, he got a 4-minute, and I think the 10-minute misconduct actually went to the Cumberland player. Oh, okay, no, I'm wrong. So opportunity here for Cumberland, down 3-0 with a 4-minute power play. Try to chip away at this lead. They're going to need a goal quickly, down to 2:35, and Bedford gets a big clear down ice, which will eat up some valuable moments on the penalty kill as well as the game clock. The chance here for Bedford, unable to get the wraparound to go. As you can see, Chisholm, he ran out of room, and I think he thought about, well, maybe I'll just rag this in the corner and eat up some time. Chisholm gets it back again. He fires it this time. No mistake. Right into the back of the cage, in the air, about a foot high. And that makes it 4-0 on the penalty kill and the empty net with 2:10 remaining in the game. So that'll be the final nail in the coffin here, so to speak. Referee over to have a chat with the coaches, so I don't know if more penalties have occurred. So I think that penalty will change from 3:08 to the 2. No, Bedford was actually killing it, so it'll stay at 3:08. My apologies. So the Blues up 4-0. Owen Chisholm with that goal. And McAvoy will pick up the assist at 2:10 to make it 4-0, and Cumberland will look to break the zone. They've got a little bit of business left here, still on the power play. Nice hard wrist shot by Remington. Another big boy. Shot all the way down ice by Bedford. Goalie just leaves it there for Waters. He'll control it. He's got nowheres to go except to just slowly send it back deep. More than happy to kill more time off of the clock. Gould will chase it. Bumped along the boards. Bedford will get it out front where it's taken over there by Remington. Pass up. Burbine will fire it in and go off for a change, down to almost 1 minute left here. You'll hear PA address announcer Kevin Northup, my partner on Mariners games in the Junior A League. Shot on goal, kicked aside with the pad by JP Lefebvre. Down to 50 seconds, another shot. Kicked aside by the defenseman, and they try to get it to the line and not out. And Lefebvre with a glove hand looked very confident there as he caught it about eye high while he was down in the butterfly. Glove turned over. Looking a little bit like a catcher on the play. Little high five with the trapper to a couple of teammates as they say nice save. And Bedford really feeling it here, and why not? They know they're about to go 2-0-1, which gives them a chance to be part of the festivities on Sunday morning. And of course, the ultimate goal to try to get to and win the provincial title. We thank everybody for watching on MC Media. This game is coming close to the conclusion. It'll be all for me tonight. Another good chance there, and Lefebvre, good concentration to keep his post on the short side and not give it up, and kicks that aside down to 7 seconds, and that's going to run out the clock. They can't get control of it, and that will do it, and yet another shutout, and this one will go to the goaltender, J.P. Lefebvre, for the Bedford Blues. A 4-0 game. Good effort by both teams. Bedford was ultimately just too much for the Cumberland County Ramblers, and teams will shake hands here and then meet at the blue lines, and we'll give you the presentation for the offensive and defensive players of the game for both teams. Thanks again for watching. MC Media, thank you, as do the organizers of the U15 Provincial Title Championships here in Yarmouth County, Nova Scotia at Mariner Centre. The players all take a knee, which has become sort of a tradition and good sign of respect. Blues all going over, and as well as the Cumberland County players. They come over and shake hands with the referees as well, which isn't always the case, but definitely appreciated. And good sign of sportsmanship.
For the Cumberland County Ramblers, the offensive player of the game is number 5, Brandon Warwick.
Offensive player, Brandon Warwick for Cumberland. And the defensive player of the game,
number 15, Brennan Reed.
Brennan Reed, number 15, will get defensive player of the game for the Cumberland County Club.
For the Bedford Blues,
The Ramblers.
the offensive player of the game, number 21, Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart had a good game. He had the first goal unassisted at 11:30 of the first, and gets rewarded here.
The defensive player of the game for Bedford is number 7, Aiden Knowles.
And Aiden Knowles gets defensive player of the game, and I like this. They pose for it with the tournament chair, Paul McDonald, and that goes directly onto the Facebook site of the tournament, and it's one more thing for these guys to remember going forward in their lives, especially if they were to win this championship. Thank you, everybody, for watching on MC Media. We're going to sign off, and Cape Breton County Islanders and the Sackville Flyers will be on shortly, and we thank you, everybody, and have a nice night. Welcome to Yarmouth if you're watching, and we will see you soon. Spencer McQueen wins the drawback. Warwick goes wide. The big body. Hit along the boards. Get to the goal scorer. It looks like it's Stewart based on Bedford Blues and a 1-0 lead. At Amherst, or Cumberland, I should say, rather. That puck slid into the net. Again, sharp angle, and McDonald would. Speed attacking the line. That's really hard to defend against. Blocker save. Picking up the trash. Easiest goal he'll ever score, and it looks like a million. Thanks again for watching. MC Media, thank you, as do the organizers of the